once again, we are here with a spectacular lady that you should absolutely know. I've had the pleasure of meeting Robyn Newmark a couple of times at some great networking events, and she's absolutely a doll and been such a supporter of women's, which I really, really appreciate. But I know that she has her fingers in a lot of amazing things, especially right here in town. Yeah. So we are at her amazing salon, Newmark Beauty in Ranch Mirage. Tell us a little bit about what's going on here.
Yeah, so my name's Robyn Newmark. Newmark Beauty is my skincare clinic. We do medical facials, permanent makeup, eyelash extensions, hair removal, Botox and filler. I'm from Los Angeles. I grew up in Hollywood and had most of my career working in the LA and Hollywood industries. Started with makeup, then permanent makeup, skincare. I've directed lots of different photo shoots and things as it pertains to beauty. And 8 years ago, I found myself here in the Coachella Valley and decided I was going to take a little time off work and came out here to just get some much needed rest. And next thing I know, I'm coming out here every weekend to come back and revisit some friends. And, you know, before I was living in LA and coming to Palm Springs on the weekend, and then my life just reversed. I realized I wanted to be here in the desert, and things were getting less and less in Los Angeles. I wanted to be in a community that, I don't know, had like a better pace in life. I wanted to start educating other professionals and really passing the torch, and working with clients, and opening up this facility has, you know, really been.
And how
amazing.
long have you been here in this place?
So I've been in business in the Coachella Valley for 8 years, but this facility is 3 years old.
3 years old. And so you mentioned the pace of the lifestyle out here, obviously a little bit different, slower. And did you find there was a need for what you do here specifically?
I was overwhelmed by the amount of success that I had when I came out here, because you know, in Hollywood, you're always doing it for certain things, but out here, it was just women who really wanted to take care of themselves, who appreciated my expertise. They stuck to a plan, they stuck to a program. I could see them regularly, and I could actually have like an amazing practice that was helping, you know, women who wanted to look and feel their best, who were aging, like me.
And we all are. Here as we sit.
And just, you know, that was really important to me, and to put down roots somewhere where I could have a training facility and just a facility to practice that. It wasn't planned, but it was meant to be here.
So. Sometimes things like that happen. It's not planned, and that's the best way possible. Because your mind is so open to what the possibilities are. Right. And you've said a few times training facility. So aside from giving amazing facials and doing that type of thing, what do you mean by training facility?
So it's my number one passion to teach in general. I mean, when I was a baby, when I was a kid, like I wanted to be a teacher. I'd pretend to be the teacher and all this stuff, and you know, I thought I would teach art or something, and I ended up becoming a beauty professional, and now I do get to be an art teacher, and I want to start training other women how to do this craft and to do it, you know, at a level that is gonna support them and build a career and help them make a living. You know, this isn't just like a cute little side job that people, you know, it can be that too, but this can also be like an incredible career for women, and it can knock down every door. You can do makeup for the president, a senator, a celebrity. It can knock down any door, and you can get into any room, and that just, you know, helps men and women. You know, I don't just teach men, I teach women. I love to teach all professionals how to make a living in this industry. And so it's been so good to me. I've had so many incredible mentors that, you know, I'm just a product of their generosity. And
that's such a great thing to say. Right? Because it's true. When somebody gives their time to mentor, it is a product of their generosity.
Somebody has to show you, and somebody has to show you how to do it right. And I've learned so much just through trial and error because I practice on thousands of people over my career. So I've made all the mistakes you could possibly make. I still make mistakes to this day.
Of course.
And it's just something that I want to share, that generosity that was given to me.
Pay it forward.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's always enough.
I'm so glad that you just said that, because I think I would imagine, I don't know much about the beauty industry itself, but I would imagine it's really competitive.
Very.
I would imagine that it's about wanting to get as much business for yourself as possible in certain ways and in certain environments. But you're right. Like, there's plenty to go around. There's plenty to go around. And there's somebody for everyone. And what you offer may not be what somebody else does. And it's clear that you pretty much touch on everything here in the salon. Like, what are some of the services that you offer?
So my specialty in my career has been permanent makeup. So I've been doing cosmetic tattooing and permanent makeup for 20 years now.
Oh, wow.
And then eyelash extensions and skincare would be my next specialty. So that's what I love teaching and training to other professionals. And then we do have other services. I have a nurse that does Botox and filler. And we do some other medical things here, as well as just incredible facials, chemical peels. This is, this place is really for people that have a goal. They want to see results. I look at the skin as a whole. I want to bring their skin to optimal health and to its fullest potential. And even with my clients, like, I'm trying to educate them, like, how we're going to get our biggest bang for the buck and see results, and also find out what they're committed to, because not everybody's committed to the same level of beauty or has the same standard, or they just don't have a concern. And like, that's why I always like to ask my clients, like, what is your biggest concern, right? Even if I'm doing a photo shoot for them, like, I want to know, like, what their biggest concerns are, so that I know how to make them feel like, manage their concerns, and then I can add my expertise, right? But like, it's like, if you need the laundry done and you tell your husband, oh, I really need the laundry done, and then you come home that night and he's like, I didn't do the laundry, but I did the dishes, and you're like, really just needed that laundry done. It's the same thing. Like, if they're concerned about something and then we're not addressing it because I'm seeing something that might be more concerning, like sun damage or something, and they're worried about a little wrinkle. And I still want to I want to make sure that everyone's concerns are managed.
That's a good point, because you want to make sure that they feel heard. And I think that in any type of business, but probably particularly when it comes to your face and, your skin and everything, your biggest issue is your biggest issue. Right. So I might look at my face and think, oh my God, the wrinkles. But you're like, well, Kelly, you should really address this. But by listening to me and the wrinkles, eventually I listen to you, and you're right, I should address this as well. And
it's that trust. Exactly. And you have to establish that trust, and you have to be there for them. And everybody has a different boundary in beauty. And I always ask them, like, what's the boundary? Are you willing to have surgery? Or do you want non-surgical? Do you want this? Do you want that? Like, will you have a needle poked in your skin? Will you not? All these things where it's like, no, I want non-invasive. So I have to find what their boundary is. And, you can push people's boundaries when they feel like they're respected in the first place, and you've gained their trust. So, true. I never like to make a woman feel ugly about something. If it doesn't concern her, she's perfect the way she is. And if it like doesn't concern her, that's almost like better, short of there being some kind of like skin issue or something that I want to address. But I also like don't have the philosophy of like making people feel insecure about themselves. But I support their journey when they want to make an improvement. And I can get them as far as they want to go.
Because that insecurity generally always starts like many, many years before they ever met you. And so pointing it out or making that an issue could really even just, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, magnify it.
It's true. And it happens all the time. Women walk into plastic surgeons' offices and, they come back here and they're like, I just went to Dr. So-and-so's office and they told me that I needed like all these things. And it might be true, but it also can be really scary for it can make a woman feel hopeless, like if they don't do all these things that they're not going to achieve, and then they don't even want to start, right? So it's like, I think that it's always hard being in the beauty industry, and that's where I want to coach professionals. It's like, you can be so much more profitable making people feel great about themselves, gaining their trust, slowly pushing their boundaries when they're ready to make improvements, but not try to sell them a stencil of a person that they should be.
Right.
And
beauty and being beautiful and feeling beautiful are all, I think sometimes it's almost like you have to reach that, right? Because we are taught, or we learn, maybe not taught, but we learn at such a young age, like what beautiful is.
Yes.
And what you should do to be that. And when you have an opportunity to maybe get a little bit older, or maybe have somebody, influence you, like, beauty is your beauty as you feel confident in your beauty.
Right.
And really kind of move forward with that is such a big deal.
Right.
Such a big deal. So 20 years ago, you got into the permanent makeup game.
Yes.
That's like, that must have been very, like, it's an interesting time, because let's just tattoo our, you know what I mean? Like,
it was,
how did you decide to do that, and how did that work?
It was a crazy time. It started because I was a makeup artist. I was doing makeup at 16 for like Redken hair shows. And it was, I worked for a Redken educator, and he told me, say you're 18 and don't drink. And so I just
wise words.
Yes. And they paid me cash under the table, and I got a lot of experience. And so I was an artist. I like to draw, and I like to paint. Sure. So it was like, as a career path, like, I was naturally good at makeup. And so it just, one thing led to another, where I was just painting faces now.
Yeah.
And then when I was 18, I saw a woman with tattooed eyeliner, and it was a really good job, and I wanted it. And that's what I wanted for my 18th birthday. And that's what I got for my 18th birthday, and eventually started training and doing the craft myself. So it was a good time for me to start. I learned a lot, because at that time there were so many women getting botched by the service.
I can't imagine when something's new like that.
Yes, and the inks were terrible. And I mean, even my work, I've corrected my own work since then.
Sure.
From 20 years ago, because it's like, I've gotten a lot better. And I welcome all my clients from 20 years ago. Please come back and see me. I will.
Yes, I love that.
Redo it. So the industry's improved, but, I really wanted to help women look and feel their best. I felt like there was something there to the craft if it was done well, and I was seeing how good it could be done. So I've really grown up in the industry. I've watched it advance so much.
Sure.
I'm really proud of the industry. Now you have women who are millionaires all over the country, because they're doing amazing tattoos, they're building brands, they're creating amazing supplies and tools.
Right. That's amazing. And getting in on the bottom floor or something like that, it's a big deal.
Yeah, you make all the mistakes first. So you realize what works and doesn't work, and then, experience just helps you kind of have a guideline, so you're not jumping on every bandwagon, right? Like, I don't jump on every bandwagon at my spa.
Very good point.
Like, there's certain trends and certain facials and even devices and technologies that come and go that are more or less copies of something that's already been done.
Right.
So, the more the more you can get into it, and just like, I really just do those 5 or 6 things that work.
Right.
Or those services that work. I'm not trying to like jump on every bandwagon just so that I can make a sale, because it's not going to work. You're going to lose clients' trust that way. They're going to be like, I went there for that one service and it didn't work. And that's just, I want people to come in here and see results and feel like we've made an improvement, and then we can make the next improvement and the next one. And,
and you just mentioned building a brand.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it's clear, like, you are well established in that. For people who would just maybe be starting doing something like, you have your own skincare line. So clearly you have, just a lot to offer and a lot of experience. But somebody who's just starting out, what would be your tips to give them about building a brand? What would be the most important thing they should know? And I don't specifically mean like a skincare line. I mean their brand, like
Sure.
you know?
I think that it should really stem from something they're very passionate about, or have, it has to wake you up in the morning, right? Like, I've learned that just because something makes you a lot of money it just doesn't make it sustainable. It's not sustainable for your soul. So number one, have it be something that you love to do. You know, I've tampered in other industries, and I came back to beauty this last time with full gusto, and I built this because I learned that taking some side steps wasn't my passion. So when you really lock in your passion, then it really comes from an authentic place, and it will wake you up in the morning. So whether it be beauty, marketing, real estate, like whatever it is, like it has to get you up out of bed every morning. And then from there, just finding out who you're talking to, like who are you trying to help, and don't try to help everybody.
Exactly. It's very, very
you
true.
Won't be able
you
to.
Won't.
So just find out who you help the best, and who you're here for, and like what mark you want to leave. And that's
yeah. So as I'm listening to you say that, like I just was thinking about like my own experience in a new business for myself. So I've only been doing mine for about 6 years now, and in our game that's still considered baby real estate agent. But I you know, there's a lot of times when your energy is sucked away, or you really have to feel like you're doing it for a reason. And you're right, it can't be about the money. Like if you are not passionate about what you're doing, then you're always going to be left feeling tired. You're always going to be left feeling lacking, like you're not doing enough. And so at the moment I switched my mindset from I'm here to sell houses to I'm here to like help people transition from one point in their life to the next, it all became really easy. Well, maybe not easy, but it became
more authentic. It's always going to be hard, but at least you don't feel like you're making things up. You know, that imposter syndrome, and everybody has that, because it's good to have that. We all want to look up and see somebody who's doing it and copy them, and you should, and that's the formula. Like you go find somebody who's doing it and you just copy them exactly.
1000%.
And then once you learn how to do it, like, well, then you start to innovate it in your own ways. But
yes, you make it yours. You make it more about your authenticity. But following the way somebody did it before is like the shortest, fastest way to get to where you're going.
It's like when you're learning how to play an instrument, like there's a way to just like learn the fundamentals and just like do it the way you're taught. And then once you are at a certain level, you can start to innovate, but you have like all the foundations. And that's, you know, I think that's really important.
I think, you know, that recognition of where you see Newmark Beauty, you know that it's you can trust it, it's reliable, it's good product. And that comes from all of your work along the way, being authentic and being of service essentially to your clients. It doesn't just happen overnight.
And I have a very different client than somebody who's created an acne line or like other things, or a plastic surgeon. Like I work with aging women who want non-invasive solutions, want a self-care ritual. The skincare line I created because, in my opinion, the most important step is having a good home care regimen. And you can get all the professional treatments you want, and you can spend a lot of money on doing expensive things. But if you're not going home and having that daily self-care ritual, it's really hard to see results. You're not maintaining it. And the people that do, it's like the people that go to the gym every day, you can tell. There's no question that they are in shape. They exercise. It's the same thing with people's skin. So oftentimes when they come in here and they want treatments, the first thing I ask them is, you know, are you committed to a home care regimen? And you know, and that's really like our entire mission statement is designed around that concept. And, you know, our mission is that we believe every person deserves to look and feel their best. And it is through the consistent love and care for ourselves that we achieve the beauty that lasts.
Say that all one more time. I think everybody should hear that.
Yes. We believe that all people deserve to look and feel their best, and it is through the consistent love and care for ourselves that we can all achieve beauty that lasts.
Yeah.
And nobody's going to do it for you.
Right.
You know, you can come here and I can do an expensive treatment on you, and it's going to work for a while, but if people don't go home and are actually caring and having that consistent self-care regimen, you're not going to have those permanent results.
Yeah.
So skincare is the foundation of all of it,
Mm-hmm.
and then you build on that.
Right.
And so skincare lines can get really complicated.
Sure.
So I wanted to create something simple because honestly, like the average person just needs something simple. I even need something simple. I'll take my 7 steps. I mix 4 things into one bottle, and then I get on a plane and I go. I'm not taking 6 things with me. Like, it's not sustainable.
Right.
So like I wanted to create something that was just like step 1, step 2, or like these 3 things could be all you use.
Right.
You know, and then they can come get a few professional treatments. But this shouldn't be hard. This shouldn't be easy, because if you're doing it every day, you're going to see results.
Yeah. Right. Very good.
Yeah.
And so you did mention, mentoring and whatnot. And so people can come here and learn from you?
Yeah. So we teach
How does
classes.
that happen?
Yeah. So we have courses online. We teach classes both online and on site.
Mm-hmm.
We have everything from 3-day hands-on certifications for permanent makeup and eyelash extensions to like 1-hour online courses where professionals will pop in. We'll get, 100 or more professionals on certain classes, just coming and learning about microneedling, or if we're launching a new product, or I can be teaching about a treatment protocol or a technology. So we teach everything from oxygen therapy, red light, permanent hair reduction, permanent makeup. I have a lot of different business building and business coaching classes that are specific to spa professionals, like how to build profits, client retention, selling retail, things like that are just going to really help increase their revenue.
Right. Excellent. And where do people go to find that?
newmarkbeauty.com.
That's really great, because I think somebody might want to get into the beauty world, but as you would say, there are so many steps to that.
Right.
And things that you learned along the way, like client retention and building a brand, et cetera, to have somewhere to go. That's awesome.
They don't learn that. Yeah, they don't learn that in beauty school.
No.
They come out learning how to like not give somebody an infection, and that's about it. Like
burn like their hair off or something.
Don't burn them, and basically, but they don't really learn a whole lot of skills.
Right.
And so I feel like most professionals come out of beauty school still feeling like they have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah.
So and the only way for them to get more confident is to do it. To like have somebody who's willing to let them put their hands on someone and watch them and show them how it goes.
And people can do that here with you.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Fantastic. And you have some really great people working for you currently.
Yes. We have some amazing estheticians here who you're going to get a facial from.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. And we've got an amazing nurse, Sherry Morgan. She's worked with like the guys from Botched, and she's had a lot of different experience with Botox and filler, plasma, laser, CO2, Fraxel.
Wow.
So she's very experienced.
Yeah, so they're really learning from the best.
Yes, and we have a great team, and like all of my clients feel comfortable here. Nobody comes out looking weird or not like themselves.
Sure.
So
that's always a thing too, right? I mean, I haven't done it yet, but I know there's going to be a moment when I go and I want to get a little Botox or a little something extra, and I would say I would have a real hesitation, a fear, because you just hear the horror stories,
right?
Like you just hear whatever it might be, and I would be nervous,
right?
I would want to feel comfortable.
So and that's good. Like usually the women who come here have done their research. I want to deliver them a good experience. I want them to feel confident, and most of all, I want them to feel like themselves, like a more improved version of themselves. I don't want them to ever feel like we've taken them somewhere. Everybody has a different aesthetic philosophy. Some people think big lips and big this, and different plastic surgeons' offices have a certain aesthetic that they like. And so most importantly, if people have my aesthetic value, I'm the right place for them, right? If they want the big and they want the bold, then like they can go somewhere else. Right. So I really like to keep that confidence that everyone's going to stay looking like themselves.
I love that. I love that. And so if somebody wanted to come and explore a service, how is it? Newmark.com as well?
Newmarkbeauty.com. And then if you just want to book a consultation with me or one of our practitioners, you can just book a 15 or a 30-minute consultation. We do them for free.
Awesome.
Especially during the summer. Now is a great time to come by and just get your plan together. So, you know, if I can get somebody and create a treatment plan for them all year long, then we have a plan. I'm not just trying to sell everybody every service all year long at any time. Like we're supposed to do certain treatments in the fall, in the summer, in the winter. So if people want to work on that plan and make that investment, then, you know, come get a consultation. We can talk about the order, how to do things, where to start. Yeah. Yes.
Fantastic. And where are you located?
We're in Rancho Mirage, California. We're right behind the Pink Elephant Car Wash.
I know. I saw that. I was like, because we drove up around this way, and I was like, oh my gosh, the Pink Elephant. Yeah, it's iconic.
Yes. So it's a great landmark. And yes, we've got this big, beautiful property, plenty of parking. It's super private. So you know.
One last question. Best piece of advice you ever received?
Oh my gosh. Sometimes you have to give up the things that you want for the things that you want more.
That's really good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to say?
No, I love my people in the Coachella Valley. I'm so happy here. Like living in the Coachella Valley has been such a turning point in my life, and it's brought me so much peace. I want to make this valley beautiful and contribute to it for a long time and build a little beauty army, and let's be the most beautiful valley in the nation.
I love that it touches you. So I feel like it's a special place. There's definitely a special energy about it. So I'm so glad you found it.
Yay.
Thank you so much for your time. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thanks.
Oh, that was great.